don't do something because you don't want bad consequences, right? For example, I don't want to develop cancer, so I avoid cigarettes.
Yes. And avoid smokers.
And avoid smokers too. Yeah, you're right. I have problems with my colon, so I avoid some food. So I stay away from some food. Okay? Is that clear?
Yes.
Goody. Let's see. Number 1. Who wants to do number 1? Thank you, my friend.
Me.
Yay. Jana.
Ask Camila, do you like my new sweater?
Silence, please. Repeat.
Jana
Ask.
ask Camila, do you like my new sweater? Camila said, no, it's ugly. Then Jana got angry with Camila. Camila
Do you
said,
like my sweater? No, it's ugly. Okay.
Camila thinks I am honest, but she is being misunderstanding.
Okay, Camila thinks I am honest, but the reality is that she isn't being nice. Imagine, my friend, you come and say, teacher, what do you think of my shoes? I go like, oh, they're terrible. Okay? Yes, I am being honest because that is my opinion, but I have to, say my opinion in a better way. Ponerle un poquito de moñito a la cosa, para que no suene tan feo.
Politically incorrect.
It's politically
Incorrect.
Yes. It's not polite, by the way,
Yes.
right? Okay, number 2. My friend, thank you.
Thomas and Maria are having
A discussion.
discussion. Thomas
Doesn't understand.
Maria's opinion, and Maria does understand Thomas' opinion.
Okay, so Thomas and Maria have a discussion. Thomas doesn't understand Maria's opinion, and Maria doesn't understand Thomas' opinion. Then what is the problem?
There is a misunderstanding in Thomas and Maria's communication.
Is that all right? Yes, it is. Number 3. Andrea. Natalia Andrea.
I have a problem, but I don't want to discuss things with my family. Maybe they will get angry with me. That's me. Marco is trying to avoid a discussion, but he can't. He needs to tell his family about his problem. They can try to solve it together.
To solve it together. Yes? Okay. Is this a good idea? When you have problems with your family and just, don't say anything, don't express anything. Is that good? Yes.
No.
No? Sometimes? Why? Okay, why sometimes yes? It's better to keep it quiet. Why?
Because
Mister?
you can to big the problem.
To make the problem bigger. Okay. Well, sometimes, yeah, you're right. If it is a small problem, that I can give a solution. Do we have an expression for that in Spanish? We have an expression for that in Spanish. No hacer qué? No. Not to make something small bigger.
No hacer de uno más grande.
No hacer de una tormenta más grande. So maybe if you have the solution to the problem, then why tell everyone? But in other cases, it's not a good idea, right? Because you keep, repressing and repressing your feelings.
Yes.
And one day you... Oh, there you go. Okay. Number 10. Oh, take a look at this article on page 26. What is the title of the article? Communication rules for friends and family. No more. Let's go back to exercise 10, please. What do you think is the topic of the article? So we have 3 options. Communication can help you make friends. Communication can help you have an argument, or communication can help you solve problems. Yes, what? C. Communication can help you solve problems. Why not A? Communication can help you make friends. Why not? And the title includes family. There you go. Number 2. What other topics or information do you think you're going to find in the rest of the article? A. Rules for communicating with teenagers? No. Well, maybe. B. Rules for communicating with friends? Yes. For sure. Advice about communicating with seniors? No. Maybe. Are your parents older than you? No. They are seniors? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, for sure. Advice about good activities to do with friends? No. Maybe. No. Good activities to do with friends? No. For communication. And advice about how to solve problems? Yes. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so now I want you to individually read the whole article and do exercise 12 and 13. Okay? Any questions? No? Good.
Good morning, here we are with Professor Paola Sate. So, teacher, please, can you tell us about your teaching background?
Okay, I've been a teacher for more than 10 years. I began working at the Colombo Americano as a teacher of English for children, teenagers, and adults. Then I was the academic coordinator there for about 3 years. And I've been working here at the Modern Languages program since the year 2002.
Your background, okay.
Yeah.
Now here we have some questions about your teaching practice. So which methodologies did you implement in your classes, and which are their characteristics?
Okay, I think that the one I carry out in classes is the communicative approach. The characteristics of the communicative approach is to contextualize language, okay? It means that put in practice what you have learned in order to communicate with others, speaking or writing, or understanding what other people tell you or what they write to you.
Okay. But why did you implement it? Why do you prefer this and not another approach or methodology?
Okay, I think it's a very useful one because the idea is not to have students memorize a list of grammar rules or vocabulary, and yes, that's important, but how can they use that to communicate, to express ideas or opinions, to agree, to disagree? So I think that's why I use that.
What about the written part?
The
written part.
The written part?
Yes.
The same. You can express your thoughts or feelings or opinions through a letter, through an essay, through a paragraph. So you can do it in any subject. Grammar, you can do it in grammar too, listening and speaking, reading and writing.
So tell me, how do the institutional policies influence your teaching practice?
Okay, let's say they don't influence my teaching practice that much because I told you before I work for the Colombo.
Yes.
And we use the communicative approach there. So let's say that when I began working here, I had already, gone through the communicative approach, and this is established at this curriculum too, to use the communicative approach. So let's say that how it influences me, well, because as I told you before, this is the one I prefer, and this is the one I implement.
But for example, about the classes and the curriculum or the institutional policies, they said something specific that you have to do in the classroom with the students or with evaluations.
Okay, yes. For example, one of the topics in the curriculum is to have students do research, and that influences at the moment of assigning some tasks. Okay.
In that sense.
Yeah.
Now tell me, how do you implement the curriculum in context?
Well, by means of the communicative approach, okay? That would be for the learning of the language, in this case English, okay? I have my students do research projects in order to, comply with the curriculum where it says that we have to provide students opportunities of research. And nowadays I'm trying to implement working in the Moodle platform. So I'm trying to see how the information and communication technologies can contribute to my teaching practice and to student learning process.
Now tell me, are you allowed to modify the curriculum?
I think I am, okay. I have done it. There are some topics that I think are not that relevant, and I discuss that with my partners, with the other teachers, and we agree that, okay, maybe this is not that important. Why don't we implement something else? Yeah, I do.
Okay, so now tell me, how does your personality influence your teaching process?
100%. Okay, and most of my students see that in class. Okay, I'm a very talkative person. I'm a very open person, and I think that is reflected in the type of discussions we have in class. I like to listen to other people. I'm very open-minded, and I think that that's reflected in my classes when I am open to every student's opinion and points of view of the different topics we talk about or we write about.
When grading?
When grading,
Because it is so subjective.
yes. Okay. When grading, I try to be as understanding as possible. Okay. I try to focus on what I have to focus on, and I'm very strict. I give as much as I can in class, and I expect that from my students in their exams. So I am very strict when it comes to grading things.
Tell me, do you think that your teaching process responds to the students' expectations?
Well, I hope it does, and nobody has complained so far, so I think it does. No, I'm just kidding. I think it does, okay? I can see that in the development of the process and the outcome at the end. So I can see that, well, maybe what I'm implementing does work, in addition to the attitude and the processes of the students.
So it is important for you to respond to the expectations.
Of course, that's my job. I have to respond to my students' expectations because I learn from my students, but in the classroom they are the ones who are paying to come here and learn. So it's my job to meet their expectations and their needs. I have to.
I think that's all. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're very welcome. See you.
Yes, thank you.
Goodbye.